So there's definitely some people in this group, not necessarily on the call right now, but in our group that just really hesitate to share with certain people. And I don't know. I just think everyone's got to come to their own place, but this is not someone that I would have thought like would be interested. You know what I mean? It's just a reminder that you never know who's watching you. So I was just a huge blessing to have spent all this money on prom and then to like have someone so excited to start and literally you get paid with this business. You get it in your account right away, and then it transfers. If you don't want to pay extra fees, it transfers in like 24 hours. And it's just so quick. It's such a quick win. And then the fact that people are like thanking you for it is great. So I'm just proud of myself because I've gone live, I've posted things I did not want to do that probably look like they come easy to me now, but they definitely didn't come easy to me at first. So I'm just proud of myself for that. So there we go. What about you guys? Vanessa, what are you proud of this week?
Starting.
Yes, Vanessa launched and her launch post was awesome and she got great feedback just like Molly did when Molly posted. So talk about that. So what are you proud of?
I just, I was so scared. And as I had texted you, I'm like, okay, I did it. And then I had to step away from my phone, my computer. I was like, okay, like, and it just, I've had so many people ask the questions, do all of that, and, being very intentional with my responses to them, being very personal about it because as we've always talked about, being authentic is everything. And she talks about it in this. So it's been great. And then we were at the barn the following day, and I had a couple people there that are like, "What is this? I need this. I need this." And so it's just having that positive response just makes me even more excited to keep doing it.
Yep.
It's like, so that's my goal this week, though, is to set what my messages are going to be each day so I don't get paralyzed and I don't have anything to post today. It's like just starting that practice on Mondays is laying out my week.
Yeah. And some advice about that, because I definitely think when we sit down, we're like, let's plan out our week, something like nothing comes to us. And what I found is when I can sit down and just write, well, what conversations have I had with people? Like, what are they thinking? Like, I had someone that I had a Zoom call this morning who was like, I'm curious, but I'm so scared. Like that's a post right there, right? Like what trauma have we all been through that we as like almost 50-year-olds can't just say, I want to do something or I don't. Like what trauma is like so embedded in us that we like are afraid to ask something. You know what I mean? Like for fear of what someone's gonna like do or say. So I just think it's funny. Like that could be a total series of posts. So it's
Right.
almost like just write down like what's happening. So my posts this week have been from, hi Jen, glad you came. We just started sharing, just so you know, we'll get to you, but just some things we're proud of from the week. So if you just want to, once we get to you, share something you're proud of. But so the things I've been posting about are conversations I'm having with people that could turn into a post, and obviously you can use ChatGPT to like elaborate on that a little bit. The 90-day run, so definitely like trying to create some urgency. Any wins that I've had or anything you're learning, like if you go to mindset training, just take one quote of something you heard and turn that into a post. You know what I mean? So try not to make it bigger than it is. What's going
Mhm.
on this week that we can share the process? Because that's why people are so nervous. They're like, it's a big mystery. So let's demystify it for them and just let them know what we're learning, what we're doing on the fly, and that's going to create more excitement. And the other thing I'll just say, and this stems back to what Vanessa said last week about being inconsistent, right? And then you launched this week and you had a great launch. The quicker you can do this and move, the more momentum you'll have and the easier it will be. So when you start, stop, lose momentum, don't post for a while, people are just looking for you to be inconsistent. Like they're looking for a reason to say that's not going to work. And I've been guilty of this myself, where it's like you come out and you're so excited about something and then like you disappear. So we got to, like, once we launch, we just got to keep just being consistent so that they start trusting after a month, like, oh, Vanessa's really doing this. Like she's serious. You know what I mean? And there's not like this hesitation because people are already skeptical often, and we don't want to give them more reason to be. So. Awesome. We're so proud of you. Claps for Vanessa for launching, even though she was nervous and she rocked it. It was a great post and she got great feedback. So,
No, that's awesome.
yeah. All right, Molly, I already know what I would say that I'm proud of you for. What are you going to say?
I'm proud of me for figuring out why I was chasing my tail, um, with having to sit down and talk to everybody around me. I had too much freedom that I wasn't being, what is it, productive. And I realized it was because I'm not going and out of sight, everybody thinks that they can bother me, even if I explain to 2 10-year-olds that I can't be interrupted for a couple hours and
Mhm.
blah, blah, blah. But I, I found a huge improvement, and I pretty much talked to all the people that would be taking advantage of me. So I'm happy to have that done. And I'm really excited to start this 90-day run. And I'm trying to post every day, but I have to get more. I have to do more, business like posting.
Yep. Yeah.
So
And so just think of what you want your ratio to be, but like posting about the business a few times. It all depends how much you're posting, how much you can post about the business, but yeah, that's great. So yeah, I'm really proud of Molly because we had multiple conversations this week and she's really creating boundaries. She's been a stay-at-home mom, so everyone thinks she's available, and now she's trying to launch this business and she just wasn't finding any time to get the things done that she planned on. And that's because everyone like expects her to still be fully available. So she had to talk with her kids. She had to talk with some people in her life just to let them know this is serious. This is what I'm doing. And I think that's great. And we moms, we got to be like out of sight, out of mind. Like if
yeah,
you're in front of your kid, they're first going to need you. So I think that's really important, like time boundaries.
yeah,
We're not
absolutely.
playing games here. Like, if you're trying to make $500 a month, whatever, play games. But, like, I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to get a serious income here. So that means you got to treat it like a business. And it can still happen in the pockets of your time. But you have to really look back at the day and say, like, did I do one, two, or three things to really move this forward, and be honest with yourself, right? So,
Yeah, absolutely. And I've seen your the way that you have been posting, watching you grow has been really a great example. So
thanks. And that hasn't been easy for me. And also, I will just say, because I think we hear TikTok, and if you look at my TikTok, it's very dismal. Like I have like 27 people, and that's because I probably had double and I chose to remove all the creepers that were
yeah,
like on there. So then it goes down even more. Um, I'm getting 100 views. No one's taking action. At the end of the day, my people are on Facebook, and I've been consistent, and all my sales have come not even from my lives, from my posting with a picture on Facebook. So I think we think like all these shiny things, and I'm not saying not to do TikTok. I'm just saying I think just being consistent in one place, because I think the reason I'm not getting success on TikTok is I have to make a decision. If I'm going to be on TikTok, I got to go comment on other people and like do it like I'm doing on Facebook? Or do I want to abandon ship and just focus on Facebook and Instagram? I need to make that decision this week. But you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of throwing things up on TikTok, but I'm not really taking it seriously. And those are people who don't know me. So it's just trickier. You have to just decide what you're going to do and be so consistent and do it. And obviously, a cold market is going to be way harder. Not
yeah,
you can't do it, but you just got to know you have to post 3 times a day if you're trying to post to people who don't know you. Whereas I can get away with posting once a day because these are all my friends, family, and people who know me. You know what I mean? So just make those decisions. Awesome. And Molly, you have been consistent with your good posts. So now, yeah, this week we'll have some calls about switching some of that to business and getting some of that
All
momentum.
right, great.
All right, Jen, you're up. Jen is being, I'm not going to say anything. I would know what I would say. I'm proud of you for, but go ahead.
I'm just proud of just getting out there on the camera because I am totally, like I've told you in our session, I don't like seeing myself. I don't know. I guess I feel like I'm the only one.
No, 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 I do too.
But I just kind of just put it in the back of my mind and I just go for it. I mean, I make sure I post something. Just like the other day I was feeling just down and I don't know why. I'm usually not that way, but I put it on there anyway. And I'm like, what the hell? At least I'm posting something, right?
Yeah.
So I've been trying, I've been doing it. I have a lot of followers, believe it or not, which is weird. I even have someone from New Guinea, which is, I'm blown away because I just started and I'm like, they see me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, should I do my hair? Should I actually start wearing makeup? And I'm like,
just be
no.
yourself, whatever you want.
And that's
You're attracting
me.
whoever you want, right? Do you want people to feel like they got to put on makeup? I don't think so.
No,
Oh,
but I will use a little filter. We did talk about that, help instant
What's the
Botox.
Yeah.
filter?
I love that.
Well, because Jen was like, I want the real thing. I don't want people to have filters. I'm like, Jen, I always use a little filter. She's like, oh, well, a little like wrinkle or whatever.
Yeah.
Just a
I go,
little
well, I
like
mean, there's
touch up.
some like, they're for the younger version. And I mean, people,
We're not gonna
it's
look
just,
radically different here.
yeah,
A
yeah.
little something.
Yeah, there was a little brush here and there, but that's it. I want to be real. I want to be authentic. But my goal is, it's all for me. It's all about scheduling. You guys can make your own damn schedule. You can. So Sundays are the best time for me. I can do maybe. I'm doing 3 videos on Sundays, and then maybe 2 more throughout the week, and I just save them in my drafts. Mm-hmm. And then boom, 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 I let them out. And that's been helping me. But I mean, if you could do one every day, great. But I mean, I have, things going on in the background. I have things I have to do too. I mean, I'm a stay-at-home mom now, not by choice, but it is my choice. I don't want to do that hustle and bustle and running around and lifting 60-pound boxes to unload a truck. I don't want to do that no more.
Yeah.
I need to say that in my video.
Exactly. So I saw someone say that, like, again, I saw another ad for another program, but what she said was so true. And Michelle says this all the time. People do not care about your product. They care about your story. What was your problem and how are you solving it? And I fall into that trap a lot, starting to post about, like, again, this program and this business opportunity is like not my story. And we have to keep remembering, like, is this our story? Because that's really all people care about. So I think that's really important.
Yeah, and I do both. I do both, like videos, and I do some faceless. And for me, it's surprising I get a lot of views just from both. I really, really try to catch. I want to be empathetic, but I want them to know that it is possible. And why let your dreams just slip out the door? This is the time. Jump on it. Let's do this.
Yep. And now this is what the 90-day run will be about. If you heard like the topics, I can't repeat them right now. I don't remember exactly how she said them.
I had them written down.
But going back to, I got a chart. Going back to what your goal is to get people in a conversation or opted into your funnel to start getting the emails to start getting nurtured. So who's seeing your video is, yes, of course, the first step, but then they need to be taking action. And that's something I'm always working on because I have the same 50 people read my emails and they are not taking action. Now, I did have some stranger, again, like I had some stranger Nicole, who said, I'm in the middle of a divorce, but I'm planning on starting in 3 weeks. So that was encouraging to me because she was one of the people. It's like, why are they not taking action? You know what I mean? So that's something I'm just continually exploring, and I'm hoping the 90-day run will help me with. Like, okay, yes, people saw your video, great. Maybe people commented, great. But are they opting into your funnel? And then if they're reading the emails, are they taking action? Now, the frustrating thing about emails is only 30% are going to open them. So that's why connecting with them in other ways is good. Like someone who comments ready, well, now you can get in a conversation with them. And then the funnel is just secondary to, okay, because then if I get in a conversation with someone, then it's like, okay, did you watch the webinar? Did you watch the video? Like you have a way to like follow up. But otherwise, it's very frustrating when someone comes in cold, they opt in, and then they freaking don't read your emails. You're like, I'm trying to help you, but I can't do it. So just, you're going to have to know that's what Michelle's saying. You need like 20 people opting in to be able to get like someone to take action. And that's the frustrating part. That's why over time, the volume is going to be important. How are we getting volume? We're either comfortable posting on people who already know, like, and trust us, or we're committed to 3 videos a day to a cold market. Or, that's why even though Michelle doesn't teach it, that's why I run Facebook ads sometimes, because when I do, I have people coming to me. So as you're making more money, even though Michelle doesn't teach that, it's an option. You either have to be very, very, very consistent on social media, or you have to be willing to pay for ads. You can't be inconsistent and hope you're going to make 6 figures. Like, do you know what I mean? So as you move forward, just be honest with yourself. What do you want life to look like? I don't mind running ads because I don't always want to post 3 videos a day, but then that's a choice to spend money. Do you know what I mean? So everyone's just picking their own way to get to the goal. And if you don't learn the things that Michelle's teaching you about good writing and your ideal customer, you would waste money on ads anyway, because you're gonna put up a crappy ad and no one's gonna take action, and then you're just gonna waste money. So all the skills you're learning, even if down the road you do ads, are important skills you need. Okay, I have plenty of people from my ads that don't take action either. Okay, so again, I'm trying to really hone in because I feel like I've gotten lots of interest. And now, because I'm like a month ahead of you guys, my goal is how do I get people who are interested, but they're not taking action? And what I reflected on this week is that when I talk about money, then that makes people take more action than like what they're learning or an online business or anything that feels like too hard work. At the end of the day, people like want money and they want it to be simple. So I'm trying to hone in on that message a little bit more. Like, here was my problem. Here's how I'm solving it. Like, if you saw my last post about the prom, that was a money problem. You know what I mean? And so it's something that obviously a lot of people looking at my videos this weekend could connect to. It was expensive. You know what I mean? So just keep reflecting on that yourself. You know what I mean? And that's what Michelle will continue teaching us too. Awesome. So what we're going to just do is set some goals. The first thing I would love for you to do, and Molly, you probably can't do it if you're still on your phone, but we were putting into the chat, Jen, just where you want us to follow you. So if you want to take a minute too to click on any of these, if you are on a computer, or I guess I could send this maybe after as part of an email. I'll copy it too and send it in an email for you guys. But it might not be hyperlinked though, so you might have to like copy and paste and find people a little bit. But we were trying to just, follow each other a little bit.
On well, I've been waiting for my 15 days because maybe I can ask you why we're here.
Yeah.
On my username or whatever what I go under, it's under my like Jen Samuelu. I didn't know, should I just keep it or should I change that?
For what, TikTok?
Yeah. It's in
I don't know. You'd have to go into the training, but I feel like she said more like the person I bought from, Wendy, she's the one that made like $600,000. She has like digital Grammy or something. Like I feel like that's what they say instead of your name. I
yeah,
have
that
Live by Design with Kay, but again, you're not looking to me as like the expert of these things because I'm
well,
on
I noticed,
like
yeah, I
you.
noticed that on there. I did see the training because right now it's just it says Jen Samuelu, but I have to wait 15 days after the 15th so I can change it.
Okay.
Because I
I
think I'm
feel
just
like
going to keep
Wendy in that YouTube series would have probably mentioned. I feel like she probably did say digital
yeah,
something.
there is something in there, and I just wasn't sure because it's already there. And TikTok, if you're on, I was on business for a little bit, but what I don't like about business is I can't use the music that I really want to use. It's pretty much
And again, I am below you in my TikTok understanding. So what I would say is
I've learned a lot.
Nolan, I shared it with all of you guys, or if I didn't, like Wendy Nolan's the one that has made almost $1 million in this.
This is who I was
She
curious about.
she does a TikTok,
On
YouTube
YouTube.
series that's even better than what's in Legacy. So if I didn't share that with you and you want to know, I can. I would consider her to be more an expert in TikTok for sure. So I
Yeah,
would do
she
what
has some
she's
tutorial
saying.
videos as well. I've watched kind of go back and forth on
Yeah.
them, but
Like
I
I
think
said, I'm not positive I'm going to stay on TikTok. I'm going to think about it.
and see, I wasn't sure if I wanted to be on Facebook either, so it was
Yeah.
like I'm going to stick with TikTok.
Do you know,
I'm, go ahead.
Jen, Jen, do you know there's a way of blocking out who you don't want to see you on Facebook if that's something that's concerning to you?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
you can block people.
Okay.
But
No,
Yeah.
Molly's saying, is that why you're not on Facebook or no?
Well, again, on my like one of my videos, no one in my family knows I'm doing this.
that's how
Nobody.
I am. So I was going to share that you don't have to fully block the person per
No, I
post.
just let them know that I just said in my video that no one in my family knows. Um, and I at this point I don't really want them to know unless I happen to show up on TikTok somewhere.
Yeah. I
That's
Um,
happened because I tried to do it privately 2 years ago with something else, and then I'm like, shoot, why does everyone still see me? I'm trying to hide
yeah,
from people.
yeah. So it's not that I don't want them to know. It's
no,
just
I get
that
the thing, but I know
it's
I
it's
figured
for
out.
me. It's just this is a me thing. It's for me. It's not for anyone else. But if they ask, I'll definitely tell them. All
Yeah.
my daughters know is that I'm doing something. I go to classes. I do stuff online, and they're like, "But what are you doing?" Oh, this odd TikTok thing. You know, that's all I say. I don't. I mean, I don't really give them much information.
Right.
I
Yeah.
just
Molly's just saying if you wanted to know. But I think since you're committed to TikTok, everyone, like Michelle said, should just be committed to like one thing that they're doing well. I did want to show you like with Enagic and the training I got from them. Can you see my Facebook right now or no?
yeah,
Okay. So that's one thing. Whatever platform you're on, I would definitely be aiming to grow. So I was definitely at like 800 people. And then I really committed to anytime there was someone in my life that I was friends with, like I got more committed to growing my network. So whatever platform you're on, like commit to doing that, right? If there's only like 27 people seeing you and you're doing all this work, that's not great. So you want to do that. And then you also on that same platform, and this is what I'm saying, I haven't been doing on TikTok, so I have to make a decision. But I do spend 10 minutes on Facebook, like commenting on people's posts and things like that. So whichever platform you're on, grow your network, start adding people, and start spending some time on there to help the algorithm too, so that when you do go live or you do something, more people see it. And that's why she's recommending, like, don't get on so many platforms at
Yeah,
once.
that's a lot. That's what we talked about
Because you
before.
got to do that. But I did want to show you that. And then the other thing I want to show you is I can get you directions or you could just Google it, but I did change to the analytics side, which is the professional, and that makes a big difference. Like if you look at this, it looks
You can
different
see
on,
it in TikTok, just a personal.
yeah, like all the analytics are really good. So this looks very different than my phone. Maybe I'll just show you on my phone. Let me stop sharing because this doesn't look the same. But this is something I would consider and recommend for just starting to pay attention to analytics. So I had to change to professional or whatever it is for Facebook, but now when I click on professional dashboard, like, can you see? Wait, hold on. Like,
Yeah.
see how it says how many views, and as long as it's in the green, I know I'm doing well. But if it's in the
Oh,
red, it means that I haven't done as much or people haven't posted as much. Now, it says plus 34% from 28 days. Now, I just want to show you that I can change it to last 7 days. And I really worked on this week. And this is why I think analytics are so great, because you might have a post that only 3 people liked. But when you look at the analytics, you see more people clicked on your website than you knew. So the last 7 days, this was red a few days ago. And now it says it's up 72%. Obviously, the prom helped me. Like any big event like that in your life is going to help, and you just have to make sure you're posting about it. But my point is, when I saw that 28 days I was doing well, but when I switched it to 7 days, it was red and it had gone down. That just means I haven't engaged a lot. People are not engaging a lot. And this is your business now. So to go up to plus 72% is encouraging. It says
mhm.
to you, what you're doing is working. You know what I mean? And then in the same way, it breaks it down. Like, look at my photos are the best. So here we all thought we had to go live. Everyone's all freaked out about going live. And I do think that that did help me initially, but I am saying my most liked things are photos. You know what I mean? So if you're just using analytics, you're not guessing. Now, I just want to tell you that some of these posts that people are saying did well, I mean, there's like hardly any engagement on it. So if I didn't have that analytic, I would think it was a fail. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean? So
yeah.
I would really recommend you switch to, I mean, I can find you directions. I don't know what I did to do that, but switching to get that professional dashboard, that's really going to help you. And it means people won't friend you, they'll follow you instead sometimes, but I think that's fine. They're still going to see your stuff. You should definitely be public. You're in business, so you're going to have to just get over that. So anyway, just think about
What's that called specifically? The professional Facebook page or?
it. Do you know Vanessa? You don't know. I'm going to have to look into that, and then I'll just,
All right,
Vanessa,
I'll
is
look
that or
more.
no?
Yeah.
Vanessa, you know anything or no?
I don't, but I am happy to find out because I am running to do this now.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's like business or something, but it's just switching to some kind of business account or whatever. All it is just a little thing that you're tallying over. It's not a big deal, but it just switches from being personal to something else. So Vanessa will find that out for us. Okay. So just to talk about this week before we set goals, okay? If I go into the community, first of all, like I said, I would be thinking about the May 10th, and I would be creating FOMO for that. However, whether you do it to people you are already talking about or always in any of your posts creating that urgency of like a deadline, I learned really helps because people like drag their feet on stuff. You know what I mean? So you want to keep thinking about creating FOMO. So we have that coming up, and I'm definitely going to be using that this week. Okay. Um, and then the other thing I would say is looking at the calendar. So let's just take a quick look at what's coming up this week, because I always think you should try and hop on one live call a week because I think it's really energizing. And if you're just always doing business by yourself, sometimes you're not as motivated. So you guys can decide about that. But tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yours should be set for your calendar should already be set in settings for your time zone. But this is a mentoring meeting, so that would be a good one to go to if you want. Only the people who have purchased the $900 can come to this Legacy Builders, but
Yeah.
anyone who is in the 900 or when you are in the 900, you should definitely try and go to these. They're very good and they put you in breakout rooms so you get to connect and like practice skills with other people, which are good. So this looks like next 90-day run and how your business can benefit. So that's what they're going to be talking about for people who are in that program. Tuesday Tech, none of you should really need. Cheers to Vanessa for doing her own tech. And then saying at the end, I hope we're going to have someone help us do this because this was a lot of work. But you did it. You got through it and it looks great. And then social media on Thursday at 2 to 3. Okay, so just always look at the week. So if that's something you want to put on your goals, that's one thing. If you need mindset training, there's nothing on the live calls this week, but I would always go back if you feel like you need that to the classroom. These are all the replays, and so you can always find mindset. I know several of you have already done that, which is awesome. I have learned the skill, and when I think about what the most thing that I talk to people about this week, it definitely somewhere related to mindset. Like Vanessa and I were just talking about this before people hopped on. But these all our own voices, our own doubts in our mind or whatever, I have learned to quiet those very quickly. I am very serious that I'm going to make this work. The only way this wouldn't work is if you literally quit. Otherwise, as long as you're moving the needle forward every day and learning and reflecting and doing all the things, like we're all going to be successful. So anytime doubt comes or you do a post and just so you know, it's very common to do business posts and no one comments. So just prepare yourself for that. Like I would do junior prom and like everyone has something great to say, and then I'll do a business post and no one has anything to say. But then those same people, when they see me, like Vanessa said, when we hopped on, they'll be like, what are you doing? I want to know. You know what I mean? So just learn to have tough skin about it. They're watching you, but they might not want to commit to like making a comment about it on social media. And you're just going to have to get used to that. So just keep working on your mindset. That's probably like literally 98% of the business, I would say. Okay. All right. So you're going to, in a minute, just takes 5 minutes to set your own goals for the week, but think about mindset and being confident. Think about going live sometimes or doing posts. What's your plan for that? Think about your own plan for your business. So, like I said, I started with Enagic and I was not as successful as I will be in the future because the cost of getting into that business was high and I didn't have the Legacy Builders program. So, it really held me back because I wasn't confident about my plan. So you have to, with the Legacy Builders, it's a step-by-step plan, but you have to, in your mind, be super confident about what you're doing. So if you need to figure that out, like, what do you love? What are you doing? What are your goals? You have to be so confident about that so that you can project that out. I'm so confident now about my plan, so it's making me more confident. Before I was very timid because I wasn't sure. I didn't want people to have to take out a $5,000 loan for a Magic. So I was holding myself back. Do you know what I mean? So now that I have this great plan in my mind, I'm able to really confidently share and believe I can help 100% of people who want help. So just figure out what your own personal plan will be. And if you have issues around that, think through that. And then, like Molly was saying, with time, I think we all have to continue to think like, what are the times that we're going to do it that will work best for me? It's going to be 9 to 12 on school days are going to be like my kind of working time. And then I'll just work in pockets of my time. When it comes to going live, there's times where, like you guys said, I will plan a day for recording and then I'll do that in my house. And you've seen some of those videos where I just do one after another. I save them on my phone. And then, like Jen was saying, I upload them. And then there's other times I just don't have time for that. And that's when you'll see me sitting in a car because I can always
Yeah.
sit in a car and go. And sometimes I've done that where I go 5 minutes early to pick my daughter up. And then I just know that I'm going to sit in the parking lot and like try and record quickly. um, and sometimes it's not perfect, and you will need to take sometimes multiple takes. I just start, stop, start, stop, say it again, say it again, say it again till I feel okay. And so sometimes you might need 15 minutes to plan to do that because you're probably going to take like 15 takes before there's one that you like it. But the more you say the same thing, with a good hook, your first line is going to be what makes them think if they want to watch it or not. So not hi, I'm Christina, blah, blah, like you've already lost people. Like one quick thing, say your point. I try and make my videos a minute or less. People say 30 seconds. I don't know how they do that. I'll work on that. Don't look at me as an expert because I'm not. I'm just trying to tell you how I'm trying to take what Michelle's teaching us and apply it. So you'll continue to do that too. But people's attention span is obviously very short. So maybe they're watching 3 to 5 seconds and then they're moving on. So say what you need to say quickly and just get to the point of what you think your target audience cares about. Mine definitely is weary and tired. So if they're going to do an online business, it better be very simple because they've already done a couple MLMs at this point and they've already like been down this road like me and they don't want it to be complicated. So that's going to be kind of my point. All right. So think about when and how you're going to get done what you want to get done. Think about FOMO and the May 10th 90-day run. Think about what we said about trying to move quickly and keep momentum going because the more momentum you have, the more attractive that's going to be. Think about treating it like a business. Okay. And then think about any live calls you want to go up to. Oh, and one more thing. Some of you are not in at the $900. So you definitely also want to have a goal to get sales to get up to the 900 because this person that just bought 900 from me, like there was no question. Like she didn't even blink at the 900. So I don't want you, if you came in at the 300, to feel like everyone's so concerned about money and no one would do the 900 because that's not true. So you want to get up to the 900 as soon as you can so that you could sell anything that people want. And I also want you to learn to speak confidently, even if you didn't come in at the 900, because there's people who that's not a big deal to them. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Or they're willing to take out a payment plan because they like see the webinar and they see it and they know they'll get their money back in a couple weeks. So don't project your own way that you came in on other people. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
just,
I
and then
don't mention
Cherie will
money.
help. Go ahead. What?
I don't mention money. I always just tell them
Yeah.
there's 4 different levels, programs. They can come in, there's always an option.
Yes, except you can only sell the one you bought and the ones below that. So just keep that in mind, okay? So that's why you want to get up to the 900 as soon as possible. And then Cherie will help us with when you move up, she can go into your account and she can upload what your next level for you. Okay?
Oh, I have a question real quick.
Yep.
Um, is do we need to pay extra to have Cherie help us with the adding the names already to our emails?
Is
Did we
yours not
figure?
on there?
Like if someone, no, I added my name and everything. I did all of that, but I'm
Okay.
saying like our customer.
Oh, no. So we went through and we made a list, and that will be part of it, is
Okay,
she will
that's
go
fine.
in and do that. Okay. So we actually made a funnel that's going to be finished today, a simple sales funnel that you'll be able to send people. They're going to pay me, and then I'm going to pay Cherie. So it's going to be right now $55, although I just want to give you a heads up that we're probably going to eventually increase it to 75 because it's a little more complicated and there's a lot going on. And I decided it's just going to look better if I accept payment and then I pay Cherie, which means I'm going to have to pay taxes on what I get. And so I'm probably going to have to increase it to 75. But right now, to start off, and while we're working out the rest of the kinks, I'm going to make it 55. Still 75 will end up being fair to people. We literally wrote up the directions and everything that someone will get. Like they'll basically pay. I'll show you guys the funnel later when we finish it. It's a simple funnel, says the price, says what you're getting. And then they'll get an email of how to prepare for the Zoom. Cherie and definitely I at the beginning will hop on a Zoom. I'll just at least introduce everybody or whatever. And then she will spend an hour and a half with them right there doing everything because you get all the codes from System.io and this and that. And we just did way too much back and forth with people. It was a big headache. So we learned the hard way that hopping on Zoom for an hour and a half, she's gotten really quick with it. And that's going to be best.
Oh,
Okay.
she's amazing. Yeah.
So
Okay.
the only thing is, if someone can handle it, we've written up directions for PayPal and Square because for security reasons, I would prefer someone to just do that themselves and then she's just hooking it up. If someone really has trouble, then on the Zoom, she can talk them through it. But because PayPal has to be verified ahead of time, we wrote up directions to hope that people can follow this list of how to prepare for the meeting. And that includes doing PayPal and getting it verified. So when they hop on, she can do everything all at once and then it's done. So the first couple, whatever, maybe we have to work out some kinks, but we feel really good about it. Okay. So, and then, yeah, so I'll send you also like this one sheet I have that just has when I've added it to my workflow, and Cherie can help you guys with that too, but I added it to my workflow when someone enrolls, like, congratulations for signing up for Legacy. And then I have a bunch of things for them to think about, including your tech. Here are your three options: do it yourself, hire the Legacy team for 197, or click on this and Cherie will do it for you for $55 on a Zoom call. So I'll share all that with you in an organized way, either today or early this week, so that you can mimic that same thing if you want to. Okay?
That's awesome.
Yep. So
Thank you.
we'll see how big it gets and what we need to do moving forward. I'm personally trying to enroll one person a day moving forward. So this could get like a little, either she would have to hire a person or two more or whatever. I have another person I can use too. So we'll just see how it goes for now. But it's a good option because it saves a lot of money for people. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yes. So that's what I'm always trying to do, is think about like scaling and how can we remove some of this chaos from people and get them like moving as quick as possible. And that's how you have to speak. Like with the tech out of the way, people should absolutely be able to get their investment back within a month. Like if you launched and you were consistent, definitely like that should not be a problem. So people shouldn't be worried about $300, $900 because they should feel confident that if they follow the plan, that they're going to make their money back. And then they're going to be in profit mode. Do you know what I mean? It's a very simple business model. It's when we're dragging our feet or not getting started or not doing it that then that would drag on. And then some people would get like nervous about the money. But it's when you think about what you can make, I'm in much bigger, expensive businesses than this. This is not an expensive business for people to start. You know what I mean? For a very big return on investment. So, all right. All right, so you may have been writing while I was talking, but either way, I didn't, and I want to have a minute. So let's just take a minute to, of those things, write some of our goals, make our plan for the week, when we're going to do our work, how we're going to do our work, and what we're hoping to get done this week, or what we will get done this week. Okay, one more minute. Okay, and after these meetings too, you should look out for an email where I'll just recap some of the points for this week, okay, from this meeting. So you can watch out for that. All right, so let's just end by sharing one of the things that we plan on doing. Like I plan to what? Who wants to go first?
I will.
Enough. All right, Jen.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jen.
Oh, okay. I know that I need to work on my CTAs. I noticed that, and I'm like, oh, I forgot to say this. I'm like, oh, but I want that attention grabber, but yet I don't want to be pushy. I
Mhm.
think that's kind of holds me back a little bit, but I know I need to work on that.
Okay, so call to action at the end. I sometimes say to ChatGPT, does this sound salesy? And then it will give
Yeah.
me suggestions if it does. So use ChatGPT for that too.
Yeah, I
At
use
any
that. I use
point,
Chat GPT all the time, but then I question is it right?
yeah, but say that and put it in there and say, does this feel too salesy? I don't want to feel salesy and see if it
Okay,
makes any changes for you. Okay. All
got it.
right, Vanessa, you're up.
Mine is mainly working on my post schedule, but posting every single day. Doesn't matter where, doesn't have to be perfect, just getting it up. Because I know, obviously the biggest thing is changing algorithms. So
Yep.
that's my thing. And real quick, I figured out the professional dashboard on
Okay.
Facebook.
Yep.
If you just go in to your profile and you click on the three dots on the top side, if you scroll down that
Hold on,
menu,
hold
there's
on.
an
I want to do it.
option.
Hold on. All right.
Okay.
Profile. Yep.
And then click on the three dots.
Uh-huh.
And in that menu drop down, one of the options says to turn on professional dashboard.
Okay. So what did yours say before? Because mine,
It just didn't have anything.
okay.
And then it just now it has the same thing yours has where it has that link that says
Okay.
professional dashboard.
So the three dots and then it's under fan engagement. I'm not sure what it said before, but mine says turn off professional mode. So it's right above share profile for you too, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Thanks.
Of
All right.
course.
Yeah, I
Thank
think
you.
everyone should do that for sure. Great. All right, Molly, oh, and also Vanessa, sometimes I just do like a quote, like, or a Bible verse I remember or something, and then click images, and then that's a good post too. You could write something short, like when you're just looking for something quick during the day, but that kind of goes with the whole theme of what you're doing. That's another option too. All right, Molly, you're up.
I this is my last week that I have all these prior commitments.
Okay.
So I'm just writing out a plan right now to get, work done around that for the week. And then I gotta work on PayPal and I've got to become confident enough to go live.
Or no, just right now, you can do business posts that are as good as the posts that you're getting for what you've been doing lately, which has been great.
Okay,
You
cool.
don't have to jump to live yet. Like, yes,
Yeah.
mentally prepare yourself, but that's not the next step. The next step is just business posts.
Okay, perfect. Oh, I
Because
love
you're doing a great job with your personal posts. So
oh,
just use that same, like I can tell you work on those. You don't just throw anything up there. So do
okay.
that with some business. Like, what are you learning? Or you're so excited about this 90-day run. You're learning so much. I'm telling you, your audience would eat that up because I saw how they've been eating up other things. If you were just like, I am learning so much and we're just about to start this 90-day run. I'm so excited. Like some of the things I learned last time were just about mindset and whatever you want to say, Molly, but your audience would like that.
Yeah. Okay,
Molly, are
cool.
Right?
you on TikTok?
No, I have an account, but I don't really do much on there other than look at other stuff.
Yeah, you
Um,
can see mine. I'm not perfect. I mess up all the time.
I
I just
just
let it
wrote you
go.
down. You're Jen. I
Sound
don't want to.
Waju.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
My last name's Boguslawski, so I feel I don't want to put your last name.
Yeah, I'll try and put that in the email, like some of the
Okay.
links too.
Yeah,
And
my
then
videos are not perfect.
Yeah, and Molly's willing to do her personal Facebook page, which if you're willing to do that, like she got a lot of traction when she posted her business posts too.
Oh,
You know what I
good.
mean?
That's good.
So,
This is
yeah,
the first time for me on even the TikTok platform, and I did mention that, so that helped.
yeah, definitely.
and
You
I
did a good
definitely
job staying consistent too.
I did definitely when I put up some posts, well, especially the first one, I did, choose my audience to
Mhm.
not include several people just because I don't
Yeah.
want negativity.
And good. That probably makes you feel more confident too.
Oh yeah.
For me, I am really gonna analyze like how to get 5 opt-ins a day to and I'm not near that, so don't think I'm close to that. But that is my goal. Like I want people opting into my funnel. So I'm going to really be exploring like how to increase that. That's my goal, which probably relates to what Jen said with call to action and different things. You know what I mean?
That's
Getting
all.
people to
Yeah.
do that more. So I feel like I've put other primary things in place, but that needs to start happening more often.
I
Okay.
think, yeah, that's awesome.
All right, guys, you're doing awesome. I really loved that the momentum after the last meeting. People were contacting me all week, and I loved that. They were like excited, telling me what they were doing. So I should hear from you definitely by Thursday, if not before, like a midweek check-in, like how's it going with your goals. But I definitely saw a huge increase in motivation from our last meeting. And again, I think it's just the accountability of showing up. It's not anything we're all saying. It's just like knowing that people care about our success and like saying it out loud and holding ourselves accountable. So any business training will say you got to keep the promises that you make to yourself. Like
Yeah.
no one else is going to do that for you. So she's going to do this for you too, but just to end, where do you want to be in the next 90 days? You know what I mean? Like what do you envision? And she does, if you haven't gotten to it yet in the training, she does write yourself a letter a year from now. I'm personally going to write letters to myself for every 90-day run. So I would really encourage you this week to write a letter. You write it as if it already happened. Okay, so you're writing a letter to yourself as if whatever you envision for the next 90 days is already true. It's already happened. What are you saying to yourself? Like, congratulations, you did it. You were whatever you want to say. I would really do that, seal it, and then you'll open it on celebration day on day 90 after this run. And let's see where you are. That also will hold you accountable, and that will be so exciting to share those. Okay?
Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely.
All right, so you got a lot of homework, team. You got this. Awesome seeing you guys. Thank you so much for showing up. This really helps me a lot. I'm going to be
Can
honest.
I ask one more question, Christina?
Definitely. Yep,
Um,
definitely.
The 90-day run is May 10th. That's a Saturday. Am I correct?
Am I getting the date right? Does anyone know? I feel like May.
May 10th is a Saturday.
Okay, so maybe it's starting on Saturday.
I actually started.
And that I would do that. I would go back to the beginning of the 90-day run of the last time because it's going to be similar information. So kind
Yeah.
of get your feet wet this week, like thinking through that a little bit.
Okay.
Let me just check real quick that I have the
It's May 10th.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess it's starting. Starting on a Saturday.
And I
mean,
already started.
Okay.
Oops. Yeah. So there'll be different videos. I think it's absolutely amazing. Michelle has such high standards. The fact that she redoes this over and over when she could put up the same video she wants, but she doesn't. It's going to be fresh. It will be similar, but it will be fresh information. I think she's like the best leader I've ever seen personally. The way that she's still in there making $6 million and still in there every day. That's admirable to say the least.
Yeah.
So she could definitely delegate this stuff and she doesn't. She's in there. You're getting literal training from a multi-seven-figure earner who really cares about your success. So all for $300 to $900. Hello, people.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So, all right. So yeah, I assume it's May 10th. Now I feel like I need to watch the video again, but let's all plan we're launching on Saturday. Get your feet wet, go back to the first 7 days or the first 5 days of the last run, which is going to be your ideal customer, what's your brand, all these things. So, okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Is it okay that I started a little early?
Yes. Well, you don't have the new way. It's going to be new videos. So
I
you
watched the
haven't
first two, but I'm like,
No, but she doesn't have them up yet, Jen.
Yeah. So I did go back and kind of look at the old stuff.
So it will be similar, but it will be different.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Have a great day.
It was nice to meet you guys.